everybody to the North American Challenger League Season 2. I'm Yigad. Joining me here is going to be Malphus X, and we're going to be bringing you vVv taking on Cloud9 HyperX Tempest. And this is going to be an exciting match. It's pretty much a doozy for the first game. How you doing, Malphus, as we get into picks and bans?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little confused though. Isn't it Cloud9 Kingston HyperX?
Oh my god. Malphus, it's
No,
just HyperX.
it's just
okay?
HyperX.
That video was actually pretty funny, but I can see the bans already. It looks like Yasuo Renekton and Gragas Lulu. Oh no, it's being blocked off. No, god, I can't see it. No, I'm just kidding. But those are pretty solid 4 bans. If you guys don't know, Studio was trolling me a little bit. They're blocking the picks and bans for me.
In fact, none of us do know because there is no camera. So all we see is the NACL letters, which I assumed from that alone that Studio was blocking your view. But that's mostly because he's just that kind of guy.
A real meanie.
A real meanie with a goatee. Anyhow, Evelyn going to be the final ban coming out here from the side of vVv. And it's going to be up to Cloud9, HyperX Tempest, and their fearless top laner, Lomo Nation, formerly known as Yasuki, to make the final call. What will he ban?
We got From Lomo Street. We got Lomo Nation. What's next? Support Lomo? Lomo support?
Lomo
Lomo
Peschel?
support. Lomo Peschel.
X Lomo?
Glebe Lomu.
Glebe Lomu, okay.
Alright, so Pantheon was the last ban out there. That leaves open the recently nerfed Elise for Get Snuggled, as we are playing on patch 4.4. Or 4. Yeah, 4.4. That's not 4.5. That's a little later on down the road. And that's going to be pretty interesting to see the effects now, as her damage was actually reduced quite a bit.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game to watch, and it's going to be the Kha'Zix coming out for the jungle here. Probably for Korkaz, could go into one of the solo lanes as well. A lot of flexibility in that pickup, and I'm a little nervous now. Kha'Zix into Elise with Elise fresh off the nerfs. The thing is, it's not so much that I'm afraid that Elise is going to be so weak now. It's just that I'm afraid whoever's playing the Elise is not going to be able to account for how different her kit is now than it was 24 hours ago, and might put themselves into a situation that yesterday they would have survived, and today they may not.
Yeah, they kind of nerfed the repel a little bit too. It has the shortest cooldown at the highest level, but the cooldown in the mid stages of it being like level 3 and 2, it is a little bit longer, so that could be a big effect. We do see the Caitlyn locked in for Altec, pretty safe AD carry for him, and that could be. I've seen mid and jungle Kha'Zix throughout the day, and jungle Kha'Zix seems to be the thing that is snowballing really hard. And it will be Nidalee over to Pekin Wolf, which actually slipped through the bans, as well as most likely that Thresh is for Gaunty. He does prioritize playing that, and if he can get it in a first pick or second pick, he will take it gladly, and there's the lock-in.
Yeah, these make a lot of sense. So they've got, kind of maybe the slightly passive early mid laner. They've got support everything all on his own, and we have to see exactly where Elise is. Now, Kassadin is going to be another really interesting pick if they go for it.
Is he even allowed because of his rework?
I don't know.
For 2 weeks, I think, in the NACL if it's been reworked. So
I have not spoken to the admin today. I'll check with him and see what the word is on the young Kassadin here.
It's just like a LCS, pretty much. It's like if it's been reworked for 2 weeks, you cannot play it. So I'm pretty sure that's the rule, if I'm correct. But if I'm not, then Zach will hit me. But we're gonna see possibly this Heimerdinger. They keep hovering over it. I would love to see a Heimerdinger played in NACL. He has not been changed in a long time. He's been pickable for a long time. He does have a huge output of damage that he can throw in with those rockets. He can get multiple people stunned with the ultimate and the grenade, and then he has a turret that pretty much counts as a champion and blows people up.
But Bishu's not going to give us that. He's going to swap the Ziggs at the last second there. So it's going to be a Leona Caitlyn bottom lane. We've got the Ziggs, so the Kha'Zix is most likely in the jungle, although there is still a potential for some top lane Kha'Zix action. And, Chris's Riven. It was devastating yesterday. He's going to get it again today. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2 on this week's games.
And possibly Corki for Tails. I would like to see Corki here. He got a little bit of a change, to his Q. Some AD scaling on that one. And the Riven for Chris, it's pretty standard. Pretty strong nonetheless. We've seen him snowball horrendously off that one and just force 20-minute surrenders out of people. So we'll see if he can do it again. And last pick for Cloud9, we're looking for a top laner for Lomo Nation. He was looking for a counter pick here against Chris, and he'll see that Riven, and I'm wondering what he'll decide on, as it probably will be that Tails Lucian for him.
Makes a lot of sense. Lucian Thresh, an extremely solid lane. A lot of mobility, a lot of burst damage, good bully potential. I mean, what do you even pick into Riven at this phase of the game? Renekton's already banned out, who's kind of like the go-to answer to a champion like that, just because of how much armor he can build early and still be effective. And it looks like I checked his match history right before the game, and it's a lot of Rise.
Ooh.
It's a lot of
Oh.
Rise right now. And
But
so he's gonna be playing Rise into the Riven, and I could see that working out if he's able to maintain really good spacing and get roots down onto Chris whenever he tries to go
mhm.
in aggressively. But I think if Chris ever gets like off the chain, so to speak, and is able to close the gap and get right up into Rise's face, I think that could be an absolutely devastating lane matchup.
He needs to be careful what he starts with too. If he starts that Sapphire Crystal, we could see an early dive on him, which would be horrendous because then the Riven would start to do the same thing over and over again, hit that level 6, start diving and making your life miserable. But that's pretty much going to be it for picks and bans. Pretty solid lineups for both sides. We'll see how the nerfed Elise comes into effect here. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. Obviously, we're going to hit the spectator delay, so you have to wait with us. But before that, we're going to go into a little bit of a sponsor plug here. You can check out Loot Crate down below, $13.37 a month. You get a nice little crate delivered to your door, the latest Gamer Geek swag apparel and goodies. Also, theme shirts every month. This one was Attack on Titanfall, and the next will be Phoenix Peripherals. You can check them out at phoenixcollection.com. Some of the best mice, keyboards, mouse pads, and headsets on the market that you can check out. And I'll leave the next two to Malthus.
You can also check out one of our sponsors at lawclass.com. For LawClass, you can sign up for an hour-long group lesson with some of your favorite pros playing some of their favorite champions and explaining their thought processes as they set up runes, masteries, go into the laning phase, and head into the teamfight phase as well. Check it out, lawclass.com. And we'd also like to give a nod of the head and a big thank you to Monster Cap for providing some of the music they'll be using in our production tonight.
All right, with that, we go to the commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have this game one loaded up and ready for you guys. So enjoy the music. Welcome back to the first game of the North American Challenger League Season 2. I am Egan, joining me here is going to be Malphus X, and we're going to have a doozy of a match for you. This is going to be vVv taking on Cloud9, and we're already unloaded onto the Rift, so it should be a good game.
And my goodness, Chris, what are you doing with no H? This is the WAT are you doing? Starting with the Red Elixir, looking for some intense cheese on Lomo Nation here in this early laning phase.
Lomo Nation only has 500 HP, and he started Boots, 4 Biscuits, and a Mana Pot. No Sapphire Crystal start, so he's going to look for a lot of mobility, but if he gets all in at like level 3 or 2, he could definitely die.
Oof.
Especially with only 28 armor.
Yeah, 20. That's going to be the worst of it too. I expect to see Kez spending a lot of time up near that top lane area. If not, trying to just gank Chris and set him behind. At least being in the area and making sure that Get Snuggled isn't doing what he did yesterday, where he spent like 3 minutes straight in the top lane and put Chris so far ahead that the rest of his team was able to snowball the entire game on their own.
Oh yeah, and if you notice, the trinkets also, you cannot drop them at 130 anymore. You can drop them at 155. The nerfs, not the nerfs, but the changes to that kind of did come in. So we could see a little bit more early aggression coming in from some teams if they want to try to utilize the lack of vision people will have. It's going to be a Relic Shield start, obviously, for League. Will everyone is Leona. He actually has a guide about it, too, that you can check out. It's 4 Biscuits, Yellow Relic Shield, and it's pretty strong. He runs Hybrid Penetration Marks, and then just, you know, standard tanky runes for the rest.
Being a tank is the best thing to be. I wanted to get really philosophical there, but that was the best thing to come up. Oh, Glarbu!
He walks into it, though. We find a nice bit of damage coming in from both sides. Both supports doing their job and being that frontline tank. So Gonsi and Gleeblar would take a bunch of damage there, so no one's gonna die, nothing crazy.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have like 65, 66 armor level 1 when you walk in between the two enemy champions. Gleep Glarbu is, it takes a lot of hurt to actually get his HP bar to go down, like, at all.
Yep, and Gonsi, no, he took one of those Shield of Daybreak, and then it popped with the Piltover Piecing from Altec, so a bit of a rough time for both of them, but they sustained back up, and it should be just fine.
My eyes are going to be peeled onto this top lane here. At any moment, if Chris is able to close the gap and get onto Lomo Nation, then he's just going to wreck him so insanely fast. So Rise has to be always, ever just insanely careful with his positioning.
Yeah, that's what those boots are for, so you can try to juke away from any of the dashes that Chris tried to present to him. And both junglers now finishing up their double buffs and going to be looking to see where they want to gank. Which gank would actually, you think, be the easiest one to go for either side?
I mean, Ziggs can set up some ganks in the mid lane against Nidalee, whose only escape is flashing out early on. So I think that there's some potential pressure there for the Kha'Zix, and it's also a very effective gank because if you can burn out Nidalee's mana, then she loses a lot of her lane presence against a bully like Ziggs. In the bottom lane, I mean, Thresh Lantern ganks are pretty much always good, but at this point, the Leona is, I mean, she's still at full health and is about to hit level 3 and have all of her kit available to her. So I don't see there being like a really easy gank for vVv unless Get Snuggled is able to get forward in one of these brushes in the top lane.
Oh, he is sneaking up there, being a little spider, going through the brush. He's trying to make something happen. But, you know, I thought Kez was going to come up. That would have been a perfect counter gank opportunity. He also would have been spotted up by a ward, which would have been a little unfortunate.
There's also a massive pile of creeps there already. They have to be really careful if they try to fight this.
Yeah, Chris is looking for level 4 too, so is Lomo Nation, but he'll back out, drop a ward, and I think I don't know what he's doing. If he runs back up through the lane, he could get caught up by Elise, but he actually might be looking for some kind of 3-man mid at 4 minutes. Oh my god, if they flash and root him, that'd be crazy. Oh,
yeah, there's nothing to do about this. He's just showing some presence. Okay. I think he knew, like, okay, there's got to be Elise in that brush. I think he sniffed the gank out. Like, he had to know. And so that was I can respect the little drive-by run around, just be like, hey, I exist and I'm in your lane, and then just walking back up.
If you don't move, I'm gonna root you and we're gonna try to kill you. But,
I mean, Rise got to get a little exercise, you know? I mean, we're just coming out of the winter months. Everybody puts on a couple pounds, and swimsuit season's coming up. Want to see that Rise bikini skin, and if he's not in shape, then Riot's not going to give it to us.
Oh, jeez. So that's why he bought the boots, so he could run a little bit faster. So, I really like that image of just Rise in a bikini, throwing out volleyballs.
Don't spoil it.
Come on.
Don't spoil it.
The Burning Prison could be like a sandcastle.
Okay, okay.
The E could be frisbees.
Rito, please.
And the R could be him getting a tan and then just running at you.
Just DM me on Twitter and I'll get you my address where you can send my check, Riot.
Okay, and
Got
now
this.
Snuggle looks for the cocoon down bot, cannot find a death sentence. Ooh, he just runs in a zigzag serpentine, and Glebe Glarbu not going to be caught up by any of those CCs.
Okay, okay. Again, that's Get Snuggle comes in there. You expect Thresh to be able to facilitate all sorts of ganks, but if you can't land the skill shot CCs, and if you're against a target that's as tanky as Leona, that's a really tough gank to sell. But so far, everyone's just been kind of farming. This is going about how you would expect it. The Riven, especially with the Red Elixir, is going to have enough pressure in the late to zone Lomonation back and keep him from farming freely. So there's a big CS gap there. And in the mid lane, the Ziggs is bullying out the Nidalee a little bit early. None of this is particularly unexpected.
Alright, but a bunch of damage from Chris is to be expected. Still sitting on that red pot, could see the all-in from the ultimate very soon. Lomonation is down that level, still trying to farm underneath the turret, being pressured pretty hard. And the pause. Not sure from whose side just yet. It looks like from...
C9 paused it.
I couldn't see. There we go. This
Yeah.
looks like... Who's lagging there? Oh my god, everything's blocking it.
Kez just blamed it on being Canadian. He says that the Canadians on his team were lagging.
Oh, the ISP for Canada, yeah. It's been a
So
problem.
blame Canada.
It's like the South Park song.
Exactly.
Alright, but there's really not too much going on. There was an early tier rush from Lomonation. Not the 4-minute tier that we're used to seeing, but a little bit of a 6-minute. Still stacking it up. Altec comes back in. Hopefully he'll be okay. And we'll get this game resumed.
Sadly, I had to work all day, so that's the first time I've seen the announcement text font change, and it looks really good. So props to Riot.
Kind of looks like the Korean clients.
Now just get on our Bikini Riot skin, please.
I'm actually going to look at how much Glebe was made off of this relic shield. It looks like 158 gold shared, so not too bad for this early in, but it looks like the Zenith blade instantly stopped out by the flay there. One of the direct counters to Leona, that pesky E ability.
And, just good reactions from Gaunting and good placement there, being able to get that one down. That's one of those set pieces that high-level supports just practice. They're like, alright, you go be Leona and I'll be Thresh, and then I'm just going to practice canceling your flay. Or canceling your Xenoblade again and again and again.
If you could cancel flay, that'd be pretty broken. I just couldn't do it.
Like he flashes forward and then you, I don't know, use a stun or something right as it's starting up and you cancel it.
Yeah.
Based.
OP. But both mid laners level 6, just poking back and forth. A nice spear to come in as well as a trap to connect with that, but nothing crazy. Ping's coming out, Elise can't really find the gank at this point. Gaunty and Tails have been pushed up for quite a while, so Snuggle's like, I'm not going to risk throwing that lane down there, as Altec still finding the CS lead. That Caitlyn is putting on the pain and the minions, while Glebe I thought he was going to look for some kind of initiate. Oh, never mind. Misses the Zenith blade, unfortunately, but there was a flay to respond, if anything.
He's just going for the mind game.
Oh, the death sentence from downtown forces out the barrier. Ignite comes through, clicks the lantern, goes in from the autos, and pause!
1-800 Merlini.
Glarbu.
I'm going to keep calling it every time.
DC'd, apparently.
Eek.
So, I'll take that lag.
I typically cast my barrier while disconnected from the game, too.
Same.
I mean,
I would be mashing the button, actually. If I ever DC'd and I was in a situation where I was like, uh-oh, I got hooked, I would just be like... just mashing it.
Someone's just knocking at your door. I think the pizza guy's there.
Oh, come in. That's just the pizza guy. And the party line. And
Nice.
P. Diddy.
No. Okay, let's just move on. Altec on the run. While disconnected. Yeah, you take this kill. For sure.
Yeah.
They're having an all chat debate right now over whether it's ethical to take this kill, basically.
Cloud9 says it's your call. vVv's like, I'm pretty sure they want this first blood. It doesn't matter. He did pop the barrier, so there was kind of some response to him. But, I don't know. It's a legit kill, the vVv side either way. But, Cloud9. If it's because of lag, it's whatever. If they decide to resume it, we'll find out if Altec can flash away. That would be pretty big. But it looks like first blood to Gaunty. And that'll be the resuming of the pause.
Alright, so continue to push out. I mean, there hasn't really been a whole lot to say. That's been the first bit of action, and even then, it wasn't anything particularly surprising. He landed a death sentence on a target, and they were able to walk it down and pick up the kill. That's kind of how things work out.
Alright, and now Chris, possibly looking for a dive. Snuggle's going to come in here. Lomonation actually goes away from the turret, flashes away, but Chris gets the chase down with the stun and the lockup, and the last bit of that broken wings finds the kill, didn't even have to use Wind Slash, so a clean kill up there. And that's one of the weaknesses of Rise early game. You can be shoved in and then dove, but it's really hard to come back from that. But his late game, you know, better than most.
Absolutely, but you just have to watch out for what Chris can do on this Riven. We saw what happened when he got snowballed yesterday and just got utterly and completely out of control. The red elixir basically just paid for itself, right? He gets the 300 gold, with, you know, you could maybe argue that, oh, he could have gotten that kill without the red elixir, but in either case, he's got a massive CS lead, now 25 CS between the two of them, which in and of itself is pretty much worth a red elixir, and he's got the extra kill. So, but look at how much he's invested in his early game. Double Doran's Blade plus the red elixir. He's going to need some good scaling to come out. He's going to need some items that will help him scale into the mid and late game a little bit better. But right now, he's getting a payoff on all these early game items he's bought.
Yeah, and the Hex Drinker Shield could come into a huge effect if, you know, Rise knows how to spell there and it pops it and keeps him alive for a bit of a dash cooldown. We do see Peking Wolf and Bishu keeping very even on that CS with a little bit of lead going over to Peking Wolf by 1 right there. Okay, I thought Zig's ultimate for some reason went off, but that was just me going blind. Wars are coming out all over the place by the Baron Pit, I mean the Dragon Pit, excuse me. Baron hasn't even spawned yet. But they're clearing that out, dropping pinks, and Cloud9 looking to take some control of this objective.
See, Kez has gone with the ultimate evolution first, which is becoming really, really common on Kha'Zix these days.
It's pretty much standard.
Yeah, the amount of versatility that it gives you is just, I mean, huge. It's absolutely huge. You can do just about anything with it. Glebe Globru can face check a brush.
All right, just pops the Eclipse, and you know, it's like, what damage was that? Who are you again? Chris chasing down Illumination though, trying to zone him away, abuse the rest of the red pot that he has, clearing out the waves and letting them push. vVv trying to look for something though. They're trying to get that pink ward in the pit as well as the one in the brush, while Chris is going to get ignited and chased down here possibly. Illumination pops the ultimate, you're going to get the extra movement speed, but Chris with the Riven mobility, actually is able to run away, and the pause comes out again, as I feel like it's going to be Altec.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. This is the issue with going with no sustain early on Riven against a champion like Rise. Once Rise hits level 6, he gets a not negligible amount of sustain. Like, it's not a lot. It's not like, say, you're playing Renekton or something. But it really is a decent amount of sustain when he pops the ultimate and is just able to nuke down creep waves and get a lot of damage on the opponent. So you have to be careful with stuff like that when you go with this no sustain build. Gets snuggled, clears out the pink ward, gets jumped on.
All right, both of his minions do end up dying to that bouncing bomb, but he's going to be able to repel down onto the left to take it out. Almost die. Ace in the hole comes through, but actually connects. Altec will find a red buff after that kill and some damage on it. Tails the trap picks up the kill with the red buff for Altec. Meanwhile, up top, All In comes through, and the Wind Slash for Chris will find that one. And that was, I thought that Ace in the hole was going to hit Gaunty, but I guess it curved and hit, snuggled.
Gaunty he got kind of, his focus was split, where he knew he had to go back into the lane and help Tails out, but he also wanted to block the Ace in the hole. So he tried to adjust his positioning to get in the optimal location to do both, but he wasn't quite far enough away from Tails in order to block out the Ace in the hole. And then because he waited rather than just running straight to Tails, he also tried to use the Lantern to get snuggled back out instead of saving it and using it to help Tails out. He ends up losing both of the targets that he was trying to keep alive. So that was just a really, really unfortunate moment in time there.
Wow. All right, so, Cloud9 find 2 kills. They find themselves some gold. They're only down 1,400 now. Riven, pretty much the one with all that gold that is snowballing the lead and picking up the first third of the game a little bit earlier on. So, doing a really good job with that one. The pink ward did get cleared out in the pit, and it did cost him his life, though. So, it looks like vVv, with that pink ward they're gonna find another one. No, they're just gonna walk right by it, be like, alright, we're just gonna go straight for Dragon, and this should be their first objective in the game besides that first turret. As it falls now. There we go.
That's going to be 2,000 gold now their advantage here as we're approaching the 12-minute mark. Bishu drops the ultimate in the mid lane looking to get the shove so he can head back and pick up some items. But Chris trying to spoil his day. There's action down in the bottom lane.
Altec gonna get repelled upon. It looks like he's able to actually 90 caliber net away. The beautiful peel coming in from Glebe Globru. The culling from the side comes out. That Ace in the hole almost finds the kill on Get Snuggled again, but with some peeling and some good escaping and summoners blown out there, Cloud9 do end up living after Altec gets caught, and Snuggled barely gets away with his life.
Chris makes his way back up towards the top lane. Picked up Merc Treads in addition to the Hex Drinker, so the root duration is going to be significantly lower. He's got a good amount of magic resist. He's going out on Lomo Nation, but Kez is in the area. If he goes any harder than that, he's going to get jumped on by the Kha'Zix from the brush.
All right, and a little bit of initiation down bot. Again, the Eclipse pops out. A bunch of damage coming in. Altec with that red buff going to pop off the passive and going to slow down Gonthi, chasing him down with headshot procs. It looks like with one more, he nets backwards. Piltor Peacemaker, ooh, does not connect. Zenith Blade at max range. Gets laid in his hurt, though, and Glebe Glarbo going to live. The Eclipse armor, so strong. He takes that turret shot, walks right out of there. Leona looking good, but Pekin Wolf coming from the side may look for some sneaky maneuvers. Ooh, that was a spear through the wall. Glebe Glarbo does not go towards that direction, and he'll be able to get out.
And Glebe Glarbo's positioning was just so fantastic. He was able to get in with the Zenith Blade, get the stun down even after Tails used his E, and then he was able to stand in front of Altec the entire time. Gonthi tried to throw out the Death Sentence to shut down the DPS and get the hook down onto the Caitlyn, but couldn't do it because Glebe Glarbo just body blocked him the entire way. So this is just great Leona play coming out here, and we're seeing why she's so strong. Chris, diving Lomo Nation again.
Forcing out the flash, but that's not going to save him. Wind Slash comes out. He tries to respond with his own Ignite and Flash, but he can knock it away. Kez, though, popping that ultimate.
This is not a good fight.
Whoa, he's going to get turned on. Bishu is here, though. Going to be trying to dodge away from this. He's going to get leaped on. He will flash away, but it comes in, and Chris picks up the kill with the auto attack. And on a rampage now, slowing down Bishu with the red buff. Auto attacks coming through. He's not going to make it out and pass that red buff over, but finds a 2-for-1 in a 3v1.
Yeah,
crazy.
If you're trying to make that kind of gank happen, you have to coordinate it so perfectly that you both get there at the same time, and then you don't stack up and allow Riven to use her AoE, CC, and damage. You absolutely cannot try to force that kind of fight without having your teammates there to help you out, and you see the punishment and exactly why. Riven just brings way too much damage to the table if you do not have the hard CC to lock her down.
We do also see vVv snag up a blue and a mid-tier one while Bishu is roaming, trying to clean up the rest of that kill from Chris. So really, really good calls from the side of vVv. Chris is like, all right, I got this. I'm going to die, but I'm going to take two with me. You go get the turret. And Snuggle was like, oh, a blue buff spawn. You want this, Pekin Wolf? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then they made it really worth as they're now looking to pick up the third outer turret of the game as it's getting dangerously low. Traps and spears could lay for a good siege. And a little bit of a rotation here from Cloud9 as four members are hanging out down there. But another pause comes in, as this time it's going to be C9 again. And
look at the decision making here from vVv. They just gave Pekin Wolf a blue buff, and a lot of teams would be like, okay, at least really good with mana regeneration and cooldown reduction as well. Let's go with that. No. Chris is like, bro, I got this. Just give me the blue buff. I only died to Ziggs last time because I ran out of cooldowns. Just give me the extra cooldown reduction. All 3v1, I swear it. I can do this.
He's also going to be looking for his Ravenous Hydra build, most likely, coming through. Ooh, Pekin Wolf still hanging out down bot, looking for spears. They ping in, they know he's there. Ooh, that one, wow, that actually chunked and hurt. Athene's and blasting one, no boots yet for him, surprisingly enough. Gonna rely on that Cougar form for a little bit of mobility, and with the siege, they're gonna be able to pick up the last outer third of the game for vVv.
Exactly, just like that, they've taken so much control. And again, this is a situation where the Riven gets really strong early on and draws too many people up to the top lane, and the rest of his team takes advantages elsewhere across the map. They drew 3 people to the top lane, and that was mid turret, blue buff, and then bottom turret. Although bottom turret, you could say that they had time to come back and actually defend. They just haven't been able to mount an effective defense thus far.
Glebe Glarbo got hit by a cocoon and the Spiderling. Chris now looking for some plays to try to snipe him out. Throws at the Wind Slash, but Glebe Glarbo is well away. Chris though gets chunked. Not Chris, Kez gets chunked out there. Chris probably could have turned on him. There's the bomb coming in from Ziggs. Clears out that wave though. And the push is still commencing as they really want to get this turret. Pekin Wolf tanking it up, healing through most of that damage. And now with that, they finally back off and take that to about half.
Alright, so we see, at this point, vVv are maintaining their control of the map, and they're abusing what that means. Trying to take away the white, trying to take away jump camps. Tails is basing on a ward. I don't know if anyone's going to get in range to actually cancel his pill. It looks like they will do so, but he's just going to be able to walk himself away in relentless pursuit over the wall if he needs to. So that's not going to be too big of an issue for him. Sometimes Leonas can like catch you with the ult over the wall if you're not paying attention, if you're like window shopping when you base on a ward like that. But fortunately, that's not going to be the case here for Tails.
Alright, red buff comes in for Snuggled. I'm looking at the CS. Lomo Nation has actually been keeping up. He's only 30 behind, considering he's been dove and forced out of his lane for a very long time. That's not too bad. Chris has done much worse to other people, forcing them down like 60 to 40 CS at times, depending on the lane. But there's still potential for this Rise to come back. He's building towards his Frozen Heart. He's building towards his Rod of Ages and his Seraph. So kind of has 3 of the secondary items for the final tiers of them, but it's gonna be quite a while. Ooh, spear comes out, does connect. Uh-oh, Chris is there, pops the ultimate, looks for the stun, dashes through the solar flare, gonna be jumping back. Wind Slash comes across and he forces the ace in the hole out as well. But Pekin Wolf chasing. Ooh, that spear is skimming on Gleeglarber's shield. But they'll be forced to back away out of that. And Dragon up in 20 seconds, they could look to clear it out and take it again.
Yeah, vVv, again, they have the map control, and you see the damage output that they have. They're running, like, the Nidalee aspect of this, it brings a little bit of a poke style to their comp. They've got Catch coming out from Thresh, and they've got Split Push coming out from Riven. So this is a team comp that doesn't really excel at any one thing, but does a few different things really well. And if they get out ahead, you can abuse that in every format. Like, you can have Chris go and Split Push, and while you do that, the rest of the team can go Siege, or they can ward up the jungle and try to make catches happen with Thresh. You see he is going in for the Talisman as well. They're trying to take down this Dragon in time, but C9 are here for the contest.
Ooh, Smite comes in from Snuggled. He's going to be forced to flash over the wall there. If the Lantern was used on the other side, he could have saved that, but using it to protect Tails and Pekin Wolf, and that'll be the second Dragon of the game over to vVv. Really good control, really good pressure, and now from here, I'm pretty sure they're just going to let, you know, Chris do his own thing while they siege up and look for Nidalee Spears and, you know, Cullings to clear out the waves.
So the gold gap continuing to widen here between the two teams. vVv spreading it out to about 3,000 gold at this point. Taking a look for any major items that have been completed. The junglers both have their spirit items and nothing else yet, although Elise is significantly closer to picking up a second item. And Get Snuggled is looking to just get as tanky as possible in this one. He's not going for like the spell pen boots with the Haunting guys. I suppose he could still pick those up, but it's quite delayed at this point. He's probably better off just going full tank. Given how much damage Lucian, Nidalee, and Riven are going to have, they just need a really tanky frontline presence at this team.
I can see that. I can see some Merc Treads coming out for him too. Stop the Brute, stop some of the Leona CC, if anything. We'll see where it goes. I think Sork Shoes, though, are pretty stable still.
Yeah, definitely possible.
It looks like the Banshee's Veil is going to be his second item, as he does have, you know, the Cloak and the Ruby Crystal to get the Cowl. Could be a switch up into like an Abyssal and a Haunting, guys. Maybe. You never know.
Alright, mind games. Alright, Ruby Crystal is going into Locket, and then the Negatron Cloak is just casual.
I can actually see that. I don't mind
It would not be bad against Ziggs. It really wouldn't.
Some extra CDR, a shield to help on the team when you're repelling in, they're diving with you. I can see it working. They do actually get another blue buff steal here, and that will be tossed over to Pekin Wolf again. This guy has been going with blue buffs all game.
Terrifying. And Italy now Death Cap with the Athene's Unholy Grail and the blue buff. That's, what is that, 30% cooldown reduction from items, or from the item and then the blue buff, and insane amounts of damage on those long range javelins. You saw before he even completed that Death Cap, he was chunking people down for a third to a half of their health with one long range javelin. Now with the Death Cap done, squishy targets, you're on notice.
They are going to be on notice, especially Bishu and Altec and even Kez. We're gonna actually see. I think C9 want this game to drag out as long as possible with the least amount of deaths that they can possibly take. Because with 5 at 20 minutes, that's not too bad. They're letting Altec farm. They're letting Bishu farm, who's actually taking a bit of a lead over Pekin Wolf. And the 30 CS deficit that Lomo Nation had is now only 20. So they're slowly but steadily clawing their way back to make a big boom in the late game.
I'll be really interested to see how late game siege situations go, because there is the Caitlyn, there is the Ziggs, and those two champions are on their own terrifying to deal with if you're trying to siege into them or being sieged by them. Just really good range poke and wave clear and control with the traps coming out and everything like that. But at the same time, they're up against a Nidalee. There's also an Elise who can throw out cocoons, and if you land a cocoon, then you get jumped on. You maybe get hit with a javelin, or a ribbon gets in your face, or you get hit by a death sentence, something like that. It's that old situation where if one of the range CC lands, everything else is going to land too, and you're probably going to die.
You're going to have a real bad time if that ends up happening and everything gets chained together. Another pause comes in. Most likely Altec again. We've had this bug yesterday. It was a little bit troublesome because, you know, just pausing every other 30 seconds. But, you know, these are quick resumes. They come in fast. The teams are like, all right, he's connected. Let's go. Keep the momentum rolling. I'm wondering if Gleeglar was going to actually go full face of the mountain with that Targon's Embrace, or if he's going to go for Talisman, you know, selling off the Targons and then going for Talisman. But with that Ruby Crystal, he goes Kindle Gem, and it will be a face of the mountain. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense. Against this team, there's a lot of burst damage that they can drop down all at once. So if he's able to use that face of the mountain onto a high priority target like the Kha'Zix or the Caitlyn, then I can see that working out pretty well. It also actually helps them out a little bit as far as like wave clear goes, just because Leona typically isn't even part of that, but now she has the opportunity to just like execute one of the minions. So I mean that's a really minor thing. You don't ever really think about that when you go face the mountain, but it will help.
Trap goes in, they chain the CC together. Gaunty's gonna be the first target. He actually gets the heal, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Kez leaping around. Globber gonna get ignited. The double kill goes over to Bishu though. They find him. Spears coming out as well as Chris flashing forward. Windslash does not connect, and he gets prisoned, so he cannot chase any further. And a bunch of damage comes in from that Rise ultimate bouncing between them. That's going to be a 1... Okay, I was waiting. If that Spear hit Outtech, that would have been a 2 for 2, but it's going to be a 1 for 2 now in favor of C9. Oh no, they're looking for more. They get Chris bouncing back into the team, and Lomo Nation finds a kill. They're going to look to chase after this one because Pikamo's blue did end up fading, so they make it into a 3 for 1. The support for 3 other members of vVv. Really good coordinated team fighting by C9 there.
I mean, that was a beautiful satchel charge from Bishu. Illumination with the flash root immediately was able to catch Chris unawares, and that was a low spot for Chris when it came down to it. He went in for an initiation, missed the wind slash, so couldn't clean up the easy kill on Kez. Put himself in a bad spot where he just took too much damage from Lomo Nation very, very quickly in that fight, and then put himself again in another situation where he was in range to get flash rooted. Maybe wasn't expecting that level of aggression from a laner that he had so utterly and completely dominated. But that's the thing about Rise, is he's going to start hitting these breakpoints where he starts finishing up major items, or he starts getting enough mana that his spells start really, really hurting, and he can also build a lot of tankiness as well. So you always have to watch out for him, even if you feel like you completely controlled him throughout the lane.
Man, so now, Rise, he finishes up that Rod of Ages. It's going to be stacking away. He's already got 2 of it going. He's going to look for possibly his... Oh, Spear connects. Oh my god! That just chunked Kez down. Holy crap.
Kez is going to have to start ulting the Spears, like, period. Like, if he realizes he's going to get hit by an Italy jab, and he's going to have to start just dropping the ult immediately, because otherwise he's just going to lose all his health like this and can't do anything.
Yeah, that ultimate did get buffed too, to where it's 50% when it's active. So if you're stealthed, you're going to take 50% less damage. That's absolutely ridiculous. And it also is an extra second longer, which you don't think feels like a long time, but when you're in game, you're like, where is he, where is he, where is he at the heat of the moment? And you just can't find him because of that extra second, so... Oh boy. Pause and resume, so should be good. But man, that's crazy. Pekin Wolf's damage is through the roof right now. He picked up some extra pen for the Sork shoes. When he gets that Void Staff, we're gonna see people start, melting.
Yeah, this is gonna be terrifying. If he goes straight in for the Void Staff, like Nidalee is so scary. Riven is so scary too. There's so many scary champions on the side of vVv when you're on the team that gets ahead, and they've gotten really far ahead. Look at that, one javelin, almost half of Globber's health.
And that's before he eclipses too. When he eclipses, it'll be probably a third of his health. But now Pink Ward Sweeper's coming through. Going to clear out some wards. So looking to get in a good position in this mid lane. C9 feel like they can push. There's a Cocoon not connecting from Snuggle. Glugbar was going to find the Pink Ward. Is he going to get hooked though with this wall? Nope. Spear? Oh my god. Takes him down to about a third of his life. Now, in reverse roles, we see vVv looking to push. And using Pekin Wolf to land some spears out there. Maybe a blue steal actually could be happening because never mind, drops the ward backs out.
Oh, this is an aggressive play.
They're actually going for Baron. Wow.
Fails to jump over the wall. That's always it. That's just I imagine it having a really embarrassing sound. Like there's no sound effect, but I think there really should be, like a dope or something.
Like Homer Simpson. Dope.
Exactly. And that's an extremely quick Baron. Really nice capitalization from vVv, knowing that Pekin Wolf basically chased them all the way into their blue side jungle as they were really afraid of getting hit by spears. And they just gave up way too much map control, and vVv just collapsed on that Baron with massive damage output.
Oh boy. So, Baroned up, vVv find themselves on a nice little objective. They do lose one turret, and that was in the bot lane, but now Dragon can go over to him. Looks like the Dragon and Barons are in complete control of vVv. Unless Kez can find a steal here, Cocoon comes out, does not connect, forces a leap. Kez will just back out, and this should be a free objective to them. As they're Baroned up, they're looking strong, and when they start sieging, I'm pretty sure that C9 have to be very careful for a dive. I don't think they can survive a dive at all.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, is that who's going to be the guy making the dive happen? Like, they have insane amounts of damage on this team, but even their Elise isn't that tanky yet. She has the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Ninja Tabby, and the Banshee's Veil. That's pretty good against the, the Glebe Globber initiation. It's pretty good against the damage that Bishu's going to be putting out, but there's not enough armor on that to feel really confident just going for straight-up dives. Unless you're able to catch out the high-priority, high-damage targets with CC, like a Death Sentence or like a Cocoon or something like that, and you're confident that you can kill them before you get enough damage put down onto you that you have to worry about the tower. But as it is, not having like a really, really tanky frontliner just yet, I think it might kind of stymie this aggression unless they're able to make big catches.
All right, so Chris doing his thing down bot, gonna be solo pushing that lane. 4-man creep comes in for vVv. They're gonna use Pekin Wolf's blue to harass out with spears. Do what he can. Spear comes out, hits a minion. Wow, that was Frank from yesterday, just blocking that one up for the team. Like, just go home without me. I'll respawn in a minute.
Whoa. Frank was blue team yesterday, okay? And Frank is not the kind of minion that will change sides.
He's a
midstream,
traitor, okay? He's a traitor.
You, sir, disgust me.
He's a double O, okay? Double O Frank. But now, tier 2 down bot, taking a bunch of damage. Chris going unanswered. Could look for just split pushing and leaving his team to do their own thing, or could look for the surprise 5v5, but wards all over the place for C9 will spot him out, and they'll know if he comes in or not.
I'm so happy this is happening, because this is exactly what I wanted to see. Caitlyn and Ziggs controlling the waves as they come in, and Pekin Wolf just going, please let this javelin hit, please, I just want to kill them all.
Oh, they hit the solar flare. On a Pekin Wolf, he's going to take a lantern back out, though. The Thresh Express. Spears come through, does connect on the elimination, take him down to half. There's a Destinance on a Glebe Glower. He's going to get put into the team and get taken out there. They do find one. Chris over the wall with the flash. The Wind Slash cannot find a kill. Gets hit by a trap. Spear from Pekin Wolf will find Kaz and take him out. And that is vVv now getting the tier 2 and possibly an inhibitor turret here. Everybody from C9 has to heal up. There is no bomb from Bishu to clear out that wave. And that should be a successful inhibitor taken down.
Yep, that's basically how that goes. Is that sure, like they have good wave control and stuff like that, but if Pekin Wolf lands that one javelin, that's pretty much all it takes to be able to force someone to come back out or to make them feel pressured into going in and trying to make something happen. He didn't even land the javelin that time, and we still saw that C9 Tempest felt pressured to try to make something happen. Glebe Larbu had what was really popular when Alistar support first became a thing, like a couple years back, playmaking syndrome, where he was just like, oh, I got the Nidalee, I got it, guys, let's go in, let's make this happen right now, and try to make the big play, and it just kind of got his team a little overextended. Chris, he knows there's no ward in here. Oh boy, that's too many people. Okay, he's gonna get out.
He was like, nope. Just ran away.
He noped the hell right out of there.
Yeah. And Bishu now with a little bit of lag, gonna be DCing, and we'll see him come back in very soon. But that's a huge swing in momentum in the favor of vVv now. And the items coming out, that Void Staff for Pekin Wolf was picked up. There's a Mikhail sitting on a Gaunty with his Talisman. Almost a Last Whisper for Tails. Actually, let me see how much gold he's got after that. He's got 3,100, just kidding. He'll have a Last Whisper if he wants when he goes back, or maybe another BT, or like build towards an Infinity's Edge if he wants, I guess.
I would love it if he just bought a second BT, just like full mannered second BT.
Or a Zephyr, just get all those extra culling shots.
That could work. Or hey, let's do it. Let's see the Ghost Blade. You've got more than enough gold for the insta buy. You've already got one longsword, so it's even a shorter path.
I think Yomo's Ghostblade Tails is not Tails. Like Yomo's Ghostblade Lucian is a little underrated. I feel like people should build it more, but it's kind of risky. Why not just go for core items if anything?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that people like you're using it to increase. You get the 40% increased attack speed, whereas realistically you could, I don't know, just like buy a second Phantom Dancer or something, which will give you 50% increased attack speed and a whole bunch of other stuff like extra move speed and stuff like that.
But the activation, you hear that? Or
that's true too.
Sounds like.
And you get the 20% move speed, which helps you reposition, which in the culling can be really important too. So I mean, it's definitely got its advantages, but it's a very niche build. And I think one of the things that makes it strongest is the fact that it has a brutalizer in its build path, and picking up an early brutalizer while you're still in the lane is really potent. So if you kind of miss the window on that opportunity, I think the effectiveness of the item gets a little bit diminished.
All right, so the pause a little bit longer than expected here. Bishu is still 3-0. He's trying to be that hope. He's cleaning everything out. He's got the most farm in the game currently, so doing a good job on that one. Building towards his Void Staff. He's almost at 3 items. Actually, how much gold does he have?
Wow. Yeah, that's what I just checked as well. He's only like 130 gold behind Pekin Wolf, despite being down 6 towers, a Baron, and I don't know how many dragons.
That's ridiculous, actually.
That's really impressive.
Huh. All right, so if C9 do actually find like some turrets, he'll actually take a huge lead over his opponent there. So that actually shocked me. Wow, he's doing a really good job of farming that. That's 70 CS lead, really keeping him up.
And I'm assuming that the 3 kills he had were probably on like some high priority
killing
targets.
Spree, yeah.
He probably cleaned up Chris, yeah. So stuff like that can go a long way towards helping out individual isolated matchups. And in Ziggs' case, his individual isolated matchup is Ziggs versus the entire team, or maybe more accurately, Ziggs versus the creep wave. Because very frequently it's everybody trying to push into his tower and him just like single-handedly saying, "No, you shall not pass." Gandalf skin for Ziggs. Riot, please.
I don't think that would work. The satchel charge would be like what? The devil that kills him.
It could be like he could throw his staff, and his staff could like stick in the ground and explode.
His ultimate would say "You shall not pass" when he throws it out. You just hear it globally.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you just made me miss the global laugh of Mumu, the sad robot of
yes.
Mumu. You just made me miss that.
Wasn't Nunu's the same too? Like way back when?
Oh, I don't recall that. A global laugh of Nunu?
I feel like no, never mind. I'm just thinking of the ha 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 ha. Like, I can't do it pretty well. I don't have a robotic voice. Sorry.
I mean, it was a global laugh in the sense that all I did for the entire game was blood boil myself, run to other people's lanes, and laugh in their faces. So in that regard, yes, it was a global laugh.
All right. So the pause a little bit longer here. Bishu hopefully will come back in time. We could ponder probably skin ideas for days. We've already pretty much covered what everybody's going to be doing here. Chris is looking for a Last Whisper next. You know, Tail's going to have a bunch of gold, and Gaunty doing the support things.
Now I'm in like skin brainstorming mode. I want to see a politician ribbon. I don't know why. I don't know
what.
I don't know what the. I can't think of like what the spell stuff like that. But I'm just like thinking like what would be funny characters for these champions to play out.
Politician like Benjamin Franklin Ribbon or something. She throws the Declaration of Independence at you for the wind slash.
I said politician, not founding father.
How about that? Come on.
That's a little different.
Founding Mother Ribbon.
Founding Mother Ribbon. Ah, you. I expected so much more of you, Dan.
I don't know. I'm not very creative. Sorry. All I do is play Teemo, so like, you okay?
And apparently that gets you subscribers, so hey, go for it.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what's up. It's about connecting with human beings. And if you can do that by playing Satan on a stream, then I say go for it.
Hey man, if you dig the Teemo, you're okay with me. But kind of fell off a little bit. Because, you know, the shroom nerfs, rest in peace. But they're still pretty strong if you get a decap a little later on. Okay, I don't know. I'm really into Teemo right now. I like playing him a lot.
The good news is that we're staying really on topic, and we're completely focused on this one game, and nothing is going to deter that focus.
Yeah,
that's the good news here, guys.
If only we could stay on topic. But I'm looking at Kez. He's trying to build a Hex Drinker. He's trying to get some of that magic damage mitigation from Nidalee Spears and Elise damage.
And he's gonna need it. Boy, is he gonna need it.
He's kind of skipping the route of the armor pen, which I feel like would be a little bit better. He'd lose the MR, obviously, but like that Brutalizer and Last Whisper helps out a ton for going for like one shots on Tails or Pekin Wolf, who has really no survivability.
I want to say that this build is honestly fine. Like at IEM over the weekend, we saw Insect did a kind of a similar build where he went Spirit of the Elder Lizard and then he went Merc Treads with Home Guard and immediately went for like a Maw of Malmortius right after that. And the team he was up against, I want to say it was like Gragas Elise, or like LeBlanc mid Elise, and then something with a decent amount of magic damage top lane like a Shyvana or something. And he was just immediately like, okay, triple AP, I'm going straight in for this build. It's going to give me damage, it's going to give me magic resist, and that's all I really, really need.
Mm-hmm. And, they're just talking in all chat right now, but nothing crazy. Bishu connected? I don't see him DC, so hopefully he's all settled and ready to go for this game. There we go. Pause is going to be resumed, and we'll get back to this 9k gold lead for vVv, who are going to be looking to buy very soon, and when they have those big buys, we could see them look to finally push down another lane, because the Super Minions are going to be bashing down that mid lane store.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see Chris go back, because he's got Last Whisper and then another like 900 gold, if that's what he wants. Maybe not. No, he's going straight up for the Mercurial Scimitar. Interesting. Why buy Last Whisper when you can have a really good cleanse that also gives you a decent amount of damage?
So Runic Prison, pretty much not a factor anymore. So he could literally just run at Rise the entire time.
And wow, look at the number of hard CCs they have on that team. It's Leona Q and Leona ult, and then they've got a root and a knockup. And that's it. So Mercurial Scimitar is really, really good in this context where you can obliterate basically like a third of the CC that's going to actually cause you major issues, or at least the ones that you can do anything about. The Satchel Charge is a knockup, you can't do anything about that anyway. But the Mercurial Scimitar to take off the Rise route or like either of the Leona CCs, that's really, really strong in this context.
I want to see Chris still push up top, and I want to see 4 members of vVv go to bot. I want to see Chris just doing things by himself. He might just push with the Super Minions and then swing around when he's in their base, which would be pretty cool. But waiting for Tails, he ended up buying the Last Whisper and another BF sword, so close enough to another BT, I guess. But they're gonna steal blue buff away, give that over to Pekin Wolf, and they're gonna let the siege begin.
Yeah, this is having your top laner or your solo laner push in the super creeps just magnifies the pressure so much. It's you're consistently having to worry about super creeps coming into your base. And again, you know, C9, we talked about how much wave clearing they have, how much control they have. They immediately have the traps out on the steps. So it's going to be really difficult for anybody from the side of vVv to actually get in and get into the base and try to make any sorts of dive happen, even if you land one of those 70% javelins.
Oh my god. That was dirty. The traps, though, that are set up, as well as the mines that come in from Ziggs, are really annoying to get through. They already were forced to eat 2 traps. Pekin Wolf got chunked out, though. He's got blue buff. He'll heal up. He heals Tails instead of himself, being that selfless support AP mid laner. So, gonna be doing that one. While Riven, you know, in the mid lane, just doing what he wants. Chris going crazy. He's keeping, you know, the attention of Altec and Lomination, because if he risks going in at the Lomination, C9 instantly have to peel off. The culling comes out. Not gonna really do too much there. Doesn't really ever do too much unless you find a low HP target. Death Sentence comes out, not gonna connect. More traps to come through, and Bishu a little low on mana though. I'm pretty sure you can just go back to the base home guard and just be fine. Oh my god. Kez, please.
So
I'll tech!
Oh! Just like
right.
that. Just like that, Pekin Wolf turns the aimbot on, and he's just gonna start landing these javelins again and again. This is why that siege situation is so dangerous. They're trying to face take it out, but Get Snuggle gonna get caught.
The repel comes out though. Where is he gonna go? He goes back into the field, but flashes away. They pop the talisman when he's in range. He'll be able to run and kite. And it looks like siege is gonna end with that. Maybe they're pinging. Baron's up in 20 seconds. Dragon is live. They could just go for the easy objectives in that dragon and then set up for a Baron bait, if anything. I feel like vVv still feel like they're really strong. Pushing kind of seems to not be working that hard unless they hard dive.
And this is once you're in the base, the Nidalee advantage is it's not neutralized, but it is mitigated because like the fountain is so close, and if you have home guards, you get back into the action so incredibly quickly. So it's not as difficult as it is when you're trying to defend like outer or inner towers, and you land that one javelin. It's like, okay, well now I have to go recall, and it's gonna be like 25 seconds before I get back out into the fight. Now they're in a situation where it's a little bit easier to actually defend the base. So the Nidalee, like one javelin equals we take the tower now. It is no longer necessarily like a 100% fact. It takes a lot more to combo up with that one. That said, they do have the map control right now. They have the opportunity to throw down pink wards and control the vision, and that's exactly what they're doing. Is they're trying to set up and make this area inaccessible for C9.
Alright, and as they set it up, they're applying pressure, looking for spears, and dropping pinks galore, but C9 have already dropped a ward in the Baron pit. They will see Gaunty clearing it out, so they're kind of posture their way around there. There's no more super minions pushing in mid for them, so they can feel relieved, as well as a wave building up down bot for them too. So that'll slow push slowly but surely, but the same is true for vVv up top. So these waves are going to be very crucial for when they want to try to set up this Baron. Cocoon does connect, spear comes out. Ooh, close.
Merc Treads paying dividends right there.
Alright. Merc Treads are key in any CC matchup. We see in here Toxin over the wall. Spear does not connect max range. Zenith Blade to come through. The Solar Flare does not connect. The Thresh Express comes out. Lomination gets pulled up with a nice bomb from Bishu. Bouncy bombs coming through. Ace in the hole gonna connect. Almost kills Gaunty. And Cloud9. Oh, the spear! Pekin Wolf fighting the spear on a Glee Glow with the lowest possible target. Picks up the kill. Make it a 1 for none. And the pause follows suit.
Oh, this is just brutal. That's why even when you win a fight against Nidalee, you don't necessarily have the opportunity to pick up Baron, because Nidalee can always just like stick around. She's really tough to track down because of Pounce plus her passive whenever she finds her way to a brush. Excuse me. But then, and you will land like one javelin. It's extremely long range, and it's just a massive, massive amount of damage. So it's really, really difficult to try to deal with, even if you're able to come out ahead in the fight. And vVv, you know, punishing Glebe Globber for that one. You got to shout out Bishu though in that fight. The amount of damage that he put onto the entire enemy team was just colossal.
He is pretty much their hard carry, as well as Altec 302 and 313. They are going to try to put their team on their backs. And that Rise, he's been slowly but steadily scaling up. He's got the Seraph's Embrace. He's got the Rod fully stacked. He just needs to get, you know, a Banshees, and then he can get a Spirit Visage too, which is possible, and then a Frozen Heart. Uh-oh, Chris is
Oh.
gonna run into
Oh.
Kaz. Okay, he leaps away.
Whew. That's a scary moment. Kez just saw his life flash before his eyes.
Yeah, in one instance, this game could pretty much be over or completely turn around for either side. Well, it's a turnaround for Cloud9, but an ending for vVv if they find like 3 or more kills. Snuggle gonna come in with the repel, gets a spite, and they'll find a nice little Baron for themselves again. That's the second one of the game, and a 12,000 gold lead.
I want to check out the gold totals and see who it is that's got all the gold. Yeah, there's 1,000 gold for Elise when she heads back. So Warden's Mail if she's trying to go for that one. Lucian had a little over 2,000. So Lucian just hit 4 items. He's got the Infinity Edge now combined with everything else. So he is pretty darn terrifying.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of terrifying now, the Infinity's Edge was completed up for Tails. Red buff gonna toss over to Altec, and the pause comes out again. And
I'll take accidentally canceled an auto attack, so clearly lagged.
lag.
Clearly, that's the only way that ever happens.
The red buff
I'm
come
actually
out
not being
instantly.
facetious. That's really uncommon to see an AD carry player with his level of mechanics that like mess up when you're just hitting red buff stuff like that. Unless he's just not paying attention.
Unless he pressed S by accident somewhere. He was typing lag.
Slag.
Lags. Yes, exactly. And beat DC too, so comes back, pause comes out, and hopefully we'll resume quickly. This has been a bug that's been pretty much a nuisance for like everybody in ranked and everybody with like Canadian internet. So, you know, Riot's been looking into it. They posted it all over the client. They posted it all over their forums. But hopefully the players will be good. They'll not be too rustled by this. Spear comes out. Chunk Blue Barber to below half, and we're back in the same position as last game. I mean, last fight.
So, Chris has 160 MR. He's pretty clearly only concerned about the 2 solo laners right now with his itemization, and pretty rightfully so, because if he's anywhere on the map where Caitlyn can be hitting, where Caitlyn can be hitting him, he can probably flash and kill her.
Very true. Kez now waiting in the wings if he wants to try to, you know, sneak around for a fight, but he would get spotted up by a ward. So he goes around the safe way, goes up top. Traps coming in, spears getting thrown out there, just waiting for those to connect, and that'll be the sign for vVv to unleash the hounds and go in. There's one on the Khalid Blarbo, takes him down to about half HP. Altec gets chunked away just a little bit by the culling. Meanwhile, Bishu gonna take a bunch of damage. He's gonna knock himself forward with the satchel, but Chris shoots the wind slash the wrong way. There's a solar flare on top of that one, but Snuggle goes to the back line, finds a kill on Altec. There's the repel, but he does not go down onto Khalid Blarbo. Chris comes back, and Kez is dead, and that'll be 2 for none in favor of vVv while they look to possibly end the game here. Yes? No? Cloud9 are going to look to hold this one off. They pop the talisman. They're going to look for a flay here. No, Death Sentence comes up, but does not find its mark. Spear as well, not connecting. Tail's going to lay into this turret, and they're going to look to try to end the game.
And they got really good potential for this one. Khalid Blarbo gets hit by that spear, and there's the flash stun.
He does find the kill on the Khalid Blarbo, now looking for possibly elimination. Death Sentence comes out, not going to connect. Gaunty tanking up the turret there, pulls the lantern in, shields up his teammates. Tails just going to ignore all the rise damage, and this will be them hitting the Nexus? No, Chris is going to get the auto attacks on elimination, get the heal, and shield back up as Pika Wolf lays in. Spear comes out, does not connect, neither does the Cocoon, and that is going to be game 1 of tonight, going over to vVv.
Very, very nicely played there. They got the early control once again. Chris got out ahead, and his ability to control his lane opponent and dictate the pace of the game and where the opposing side can actually send their force opens up the map and just allows vVv to carry themselves all the way to victory. But that said, Chris, the R behind, maybe that old Cassidon bug got put on a ribbon where sometimes if you use a mobility spell and then use Force Pulse, you would Force Pulse right behind you. Maybe if you use E or Q too quickly before using your R, it just automatically casts straight behind you no matter what.
It could have been like a fat finger, you know, like hitting E and R together in the same direction. You never know.
No. Blame the client. Don't blame the player.
Oh, it's always Rat's fault. Sorry.
Hate the game. Don't hate the player.
Very true. So with that, we're gonna go to a quick break. When we come back, I'll be here with Belfast again for the next game, and we'll see you after the commercial break.